Hello, everyone. Let's check the result from practice year 7. So we can see the result from the last year. Several companies increased their performance, but several companies dropped their performance too. Okay, so since the company B is the last one and dropped a lot, I will spend more time to analyze why company B's performance dropped a lot. So this is what I will do in the future. Since the company on the top, they are doing well, I will spend less time on them. But the company is on the bottom, I will spend more time explain their decisions and give them suggestions. Although those suggestions are based on their performance, but they are general. They can apply to all the companies too. Okay, let's see the performance of EPS, ROE, and stock price. We can see the target price, EPS is $2, and company C is the highest, but company B, E, and H are lower than the expectation. And ROE, the target is 20%. So we can see company C again is the highest, but company B, E, and H are lower than the expectation. And the stock price, the target is $35, and company C did very well, it's 136. But company B and company E are lower than the expectation. And the credit rating, so the target is B plus, and the company B is lower than that. All other companies are higher than that. And image rating, so we can see the target is 72, but company D, E, H are lower than that. Company F is highest. And we can see the spending on CSR. So the highest one spent 15, the average, industry average is here. The lowest one didn't spend any. And this is the average corporate social responsibility per unit sold. And this is how much they contribute to the image rating about that. Okay, and bonus awards. So we can see company A and the company D, their prediction are accurate. So they won Bullseye's Award. And Leapfrog Award because of company G's 6-point improvement. So they won the Leapfrog Award. And let's check the industry overview. For the camera, we can see price keep increasing from 258 to 276. The increase about 7% because that is higher than the forecast. So here is the demand also higher. And in the next few years, the simulation predict the increase is 7% annually. And similar for the drones, the price increased, okay, about 10%. The demand is a little bit lower than the expectation. And this is the increase rate for the next few years, about 12.1% every year. Now let's see the financials. Okay, so we can see the camera sales. Company C is the highest. Company B and E are the lowest. For the drone, you can see company G is the highest, then company F, then company A and C, and company H is the lowest one, then company B. And for the total sales, we can see company C is the highest, then is company F and company A. So company B is the lowest, company H is the second lowest. So we can see company C sell most, company B sell the least. But however, the difference is not that big. And I will explain why company B dropped a lot. So cost of goods sold, no big issue. So after cost of goods sold, delivery, marketing, administrative expenses, we can see the operating profit. Actually, you can see here, company C is the highest, but the company B is not the lowest one. Our company E and H is the lowest, are the lowest one. And after interest, we can see company B here spend a lot on the interest. That means they get a big amount of a loan from the financial institution. After tax, then we got the net profit. So although the operating profit for company B is not the lowest, but after the big amount of spending on the interest, their net profit is the lowest right now. Now let's see the balance sheet. So we can see cash on hand. Company B has huge amount of cash on hand, and that is because they borrow a big amount of money from the financial institution, from banks. Also, they issue a lot of stocks. We can see here. And this is their long-term loan, much higher than a lot of the other companies. And this is their initial equities, initial stocks out there. And this is how much they issued this year, almost double of that. Okay. And although they got a lot of cash from debt financing and equity financing, but they didn't spend those money. So those money just sleep in their account as cash. So they didn't spend it for example, marketing or R&D or improve the capacity of their facility. So they just borrow money, but the money's sleeping in their checking account. So that is why, let's go back to here, their EPS is that low. Remember, EPS is earning per share. They doubled their stocks from the last year. So their earning, their revenue is similar from the last year, but their share is doubled. So their earning per share dropped a lot. Similar here, return on equity. So their net profit is not the highest, lower than last year, but their equity also almost doubled. So their return on equity decreased a lot. So, and because of their performance, earning per share, ROE, not great, their stock price dropped. Another reason their stock price dropped is also because they issued a lot stock last year. Okay, so that is the major reason why the performance of company dropped a lot. They issued a lot of stocks and they borrowed a big amount of loan from the financial institution, but they didn't use those money in a good way. Okay. So that's why their performance dropped a lot last year. All right, and we can see company C issue dividend, company G also issue dividend. Percentage is fine. And debt over equity ratio. So other than company B, all other companies are good because company B borrowed a lot of debt from banks. So their debt over equity ratio is very high. And in return, their credit rating dropped. Yeah, because the credit rating is based on this debt over equity ratio. And profit margin, actually, so the profit margin of a company B, great, okay, but because their high spend on the interest, their operating and net profit margin low, especially the net profit margin low. Okay. All right, let's see the AC camera benchmark. So here are the industry product design, R&D spending, workforce, and assembling facility. And also we can see the profit margins, operating profit margins for the 4 different markets, low, average, and high. And we can see the operating profit margin for several companies in the Asia Pacific and Latin America lower than other companies and in other markets. So check your operating profit margin, especially in Asia Pacific and Latin America. Now let's check the UAV drones, product design, right? R&D, workforce, and assembly. Also, you can see the operating profit margin. Here, especially in this market, Asia Pacific, we can see the lowest one is negative 0.3%. That means at least one company losing money selling product in this market. Also, Latin America is not very high, 1.1. Even the industry average, you can see this is 6%, it's 11%, and here is 10%, 13%. That means a lot of companies' profit margin, operating profit margin for drones are not very high. Some of them even losing money. All right, now let's check about the competitive effort. So you can see company C still along here for the camera, similar for the drone. But these companies together compete with each other. A and F compete with each other here. A and F here, these companies competing with each other here. And we see several highlight numbers. That means for the company D, you run out of stock for the cameras. And for the company E, F, G, you run out for the drones. So in North America, companies D, you need to increase the capacity of a camera. Company E, F, G, you need to increase capacity of drones. So we can see the similar story here in the market of Europe and Africa. And so different story here for the camera in this market. We can see company C is not here anymore. Actually, company G is here. And these are very close to each other. Drones, similar story here. Okay. These companies are still competing with each other. And company C and G here, company C here, G here. So similar story here. All right. So this is the 2 round of a practice for the simulation. The data will reset tonight. So we will start our formal round. And if you like, you can download here, download the data of your decisions and save them for the future reference. All right, this is just a brief explanation of the result from the practice year 7. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.